Hey guys, expansion just came out, and one of my favorite decks so far is Big Warrior, so I wanted to highlight a couple of cool games for you guys. Check it out. It's Big Warrior really good. Big Warrior is at least mediocre.
Deathwing versus Malfurion.
I must protect
Embrace the chaos.
Full toss here. I don't want any of these. Cleave can help if it's aggro druid, but we'll worry about that later. It's more likely not aggro druid, and we want to find tools that are better against non-aggro druid. We're 8 and 6 with it, and I'd like to say it's about even against druid. So, you know. It's pretty good against the aggro decks, and it's good against some of the slow decks too. Especially when they pass like this. Way to activate my battle rage, noob. Let's draw all the cards again that prevent us from doing stuff properly. Ooh, no wild growth. Can I draw wild growth off the top? I would love wild growth in this deck. Drawing all the minions.
Deliver mana unto me.
Are we gonna see an overgrowth here? He's thinking about it. Shit, this card costs 4 mana. Is it good here? I don't know. We're going into Warriors turn 4. Is there anything I want to do other than overgrowth this turn? Hero power is the line. Interesting. Not what I would have gone for personally, but you know, all right, fair enough. I could play Vargoth here, but I'd rather armor up and be able to shield slam like an innervated out minion. And if I play Vargoth here, it sets up into innervate guardian animals, which is something he could have here. Okay, I'm not. Oh, this is kind of sad though. I don't want to shield slam this. Maybe I do want to shield slam this. I do want to shield slam this. I thought about Vargoth thing, but it's not going to work. GG 6 point. It was a close game. I thought after the I thought after the Plague of Death I was kind of just dead, but we managed to I managed to get the, what was it? Yeah, I was hoping you didn't have removal for the second Reaper Scythe. That was basically it.
Power. My people are addicted to it.
Okay, so far this is fine. This is acceptable for me. I'll probably just coerce this. Actually, I'd probably Bladestorm instead. What's spectacular, sir? You weren't expecting Grom? Yeah, Grom is an interesting one of this deck. I think it's okay. I think you do need the finish. Like, the other cards end up doing a lot of damage. The Grom finish makes sense. But in itself, if you get that pulled off of Commencement or Dimensional Ripper... Actually, off of Ripper, it's still pretty good. But off of Commencement, it feels a little worse. This is exactly what I was talking about. Not super thrilled about this, but like fine. Dog did include Grom in his list, so now most people don't run. Oh, I mean, it makes sense that someone else would try to make the list. I didn't know Dog tried it out. I can trade no longer. Going face here doesn't win me the game. I need to get my bigger guys online, like Troublemaker. Did we want a Bog Beam first? Yeah, your hand's full. Sure, fine. No, this was dumb. This was just a little dumb. He could have gone Ironbark first, then swing, then Bog Beam. Not that I'm complaining, but just as reference point. Oh! Yes! Roar! Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a 50-50, but even if we get Troublemaker, we probably just win. Alright, I'm having fun with this deck. Some draws have been unfortunate, but the deck is fun. I like the deck. Rattlegore makes it really nice. Bullseye, that's gonna get you banned if we draw Rattlegore next turn, okay? Or timed out at the very least.
Jesus Maria, this was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Coin, survival of the fittest. 1 Anubis Seth is fine, 2 is not. Do I change my game plan now? I think I do change my game plan now. Nice. And this sets up the Vargoth so we can double Ripper. Bwom! We simply rip all the dimensions, guys. All the dimensions will be ripped. None of the dimensions will be spared. And this is pretty bad against second guardian animals, but like whatever.
My dream.
That's fine. We don't care about that.
We're gonna be rich.
Innervate hero power? That's fine, guys. Iron Bark? Not a problem. We'll deal with it. He's already used an overflow too, so he's got less draw. Bwom, guys! Bwom! That's not Rattlegore. Huh. Roar! Rah! 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 What sound effect does the Dimensional Ripper have? I have no idea. Robfuscate, thank you so much for the Prime. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your support. You're awesome. So this could be a problem where he has a bunch of dragons we can't deal with. Because we don't have Brawl. But we could manually just kill some. And it also depends how many he draws. It's four portals in the last 2 cards. So he probably plays Wild Growth here to draw one. No Wild Growth, eh? Okay. Well, this is manageable. I can deal with this. I can deal with this. Can we draw another Dimensional Ripper? God, that would be so disgusting. Actually, it wouldn't be that great. No, I don't want to do that. Forget I said that. Grom's gone, so I can't actually set up... I don't think I can lethal him here. So obviously there's just double trade here, which is good. This trade is fine, and it leaves only 9 on board. I don't want 6 Rattlegores. I mean, yeah, but there's other stuff in the way too, you know? So this together deals 15. With Inner Rage, it clears it. Which means I can play another one from hand. But would I rather not just leave this alive? I'd rather just leave this alive. So he'd probably slam. The Troublemaker. Okay, that's pretty good. I actually want to kill this. Because he can survival the fittest, and I'm not into that. I don't want him to survival the fittest for free. Slam's really good, because if he does draw the other dragons, now I can brawl it. 4 portals, bottom 5. Is it alright to make the Radagore sound when the card is in Radagore? I mean, you can. It's still fun. I'm not gonna just say it every 5 seconds because it's gonna get annoying real quick. But you know, a well-placed roar is really good and can be used very effectively. I like the turn where we deviated from Coin Ripper and we set up the Vargoth Ripper. I think that was beautiful. I think it was very beautifully done. Overgrowth can't save you. Silly, silly druid. Throat's getting kind of sore, but the mood has never been better. That's the feeling. 4 dragons, bottom 4.
I am not always perfect.
Unlucky.
Spectacular. Time waits for no one.
Generally, if they run 1 survival, I think they run 2. You probably should have done this a bit faster. From Fargoth. I'm pretty happy just brawling this.
The fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Try Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas doesn't work well with this. It's too expensive. By the time you play Kel'Thas, you can just play the cards, so I don't know if it's worth it. I don't even have to brawl this. Honestly. I actually have lethal. Keck.
I can see.
See ya. Yeah, he's dead on board actually, even without the enrage. Big warrior, 60% win rate, and climbing. This section has been muted because someone has a potty mouth. Like, I know that's gonna happen. The deck is not consistent enough to where you're gonna do the things you want to do every single game. It's just so annoying. Like, it's the only matchup where that kind of stuff matters. If it's a normal other matchup, like against Druid you still want those cards. But against Druid, against the more aggressive decks, against Warrior, you're fine playing the big minions as they are. It's literally only fucking Priest where you need the Dimension Rippers. And it's fine if they're deep. Just don't draw all the minions on top of it. Like that. I'm going to save this. I need a way to activate Chorus if it's Temple Priest. Jesus, man. Yeah, I don't think he had to snipe me with that. I still had game, but we ended up drawing the last minion in the deck, so the 2-dimensional Rippers were just garbage. Jeez. Well, you don't have to apologize for anything. Okay, guess I lose. Damn. I was hoping for Broom here, because next turn I can go Broomstick Coerce. We did not hit that. I drew something else to activate Coerce, so it's less important that I have an activator now, which is why I play the Athletic Studies. Turn 5's too slow, but this doesn't do anything is the problem. Actually, it does do something. It means I can trade Coerce next turn. You're not a fan of Sphere? I don't think you need Sphere in this deck. Like, it's an interesting option, but I think you need more proactive stuff to do. Renew's bad for me, otherwise we're fine. Okay. Sphere also means set becomes awkward. Yeah, messes with that as well. Like you can control when you play both of them, but I do think it'll make it a bit too awkward. Blade Storm's really nice. Let's get this online. What types of decks do you think Sphere is good in? Highlander decks, decks where you need the consistency. Combo decks as well, to make sure you draw the removal instead of the combo cards, or the combo cards instead of the removal if it's a slower matchup.
Is anyone else lost?
It can fit in every deck because it helps you draw what you need, but some decks would rather pay 1 mana to do something else instead of. Let me figure this out. Hold on. I don't like using all my hard removal right now, but I kind of need to keep them off the board. Right, so some decks would prefer to just have the mana spent on minions instead of focusing on curating the draws. And there's other decks, mainly stuff like Warrior or a Rogue or Demon Hunter, that would prefer to have their weapons online, which is why in those decks you don't see them being played. Let's pretend I studied before armoring. Good. I didn't mean to play that. Holy shit, that just jumped out of my hand. So they run Psyche Split, which is why I didn't want to play this. I meant to hold it. I think I double clicked, and then as I picked it, it must have like held it before it came to my hand and played it on the field. This was really bad against Psyche Split because now I can lose late game. In theory, I probably don't still lose late game, but this was bad. Yeah.
Got you, friend.
That's some sick tech if you're hoping. I didn't realize you could do that. I didn't realize the Discover moves from the Discover pool back to your hand. I assumed it just popped up in your hand. I want to develop Grom, so I'll spend all my mana this turn on removal. I mean, that was a pure accident. I didn't realize that could happen, but... Okay. I kept talking about, you know, mulliganing for Temple Priest, and it never ended up happening, and it finally happened, so I'm glad we did actually mulligan for it. Against the other Priest, like, you generally want the slow cards. Commencement against something like this would still be decent, but I think the removal is way more important. It doesn't matter if you make it to turn... It doesn't matter if you have Commencement if you die before turn 7. Sets up lethal, so I should do this. He could get a random Plague of Death from his Veil Weavers, so that means we should do this before that is possible. If he had Soulmare, I think he would have played it last turn. Top deck, Kargath Prime. No, he's mousing over here. Over heal. We're fine. Note how we did not go above 9 armor so that we can use the second shield slam to activate the Grom, which means you have 19 damage if he doesn't heal. We could also top deck Enrage, which would give us some more damage. Or we could top deck Troublemaker, which is also lethal. Commencement is similarly also lethal sometimes.
What must
Soulmare isn't even good. No, I meant Soulmare the turn before. Soulmare here doesn't do anything. On turn 7 against my Kargath. Powerful.
Share your thoughts with the class now.
the end is near?
Brawl, I guess. Rip Brawl. And Shield Stem, I suppose, sure. Well, at least you can't use my Dimensional Ripper. Oh my god, I'm gonna Power Infusion Psyche Split whatever lives. Ha! Rip. Got him.